They made the daily track the only source of water.
Okay, hopefully the sound is better this time. I noticed there was some sound issues last night. If it's still needed, my speakers and whatnot. So I need people to let me know how it's doing. So I'll give it a couple minutes, wait for people to join. If they do, because it's 11:21 at night already. I said I was going to do a show, so I'm tired. I don't feel good. I'm not going to be up here long, but we'll see if we get some of the people that we miss greatly. And if anybody's heard anything about Casey, please let me know. And we need to include her in our prayers. And John and his wife and grandson, as they live in Florida. And we know Florida is a very hotbed right now for COVID. Hi, Loretta. How have you been? Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Is the sound okay? Because people told me it was okay last night, but then when I listened to it later, it sounded kind of distorted. How are things going in your part of the world? How are the COVID cases and crime and whatever else is going? Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, it was. I struggled through today. I wasn't feeling good. Um, but I think the Lord is working some things out for me. Um, so we'll see how this car goes. It seems to be like a blessing. Oh, you're in Cali. Oh, yeah. Well, that shouldn't provoke you by people wearing their mask. Aren't wearing their mask or are wearing their mask. Hello, Patrick. How are you? Yeah, we were looking for you last night. Oh, looks like it's buffering. Hasn't done that in a long time. You're in the Mojave Desert. Okay. Let me see. Darn it. I should have changed. See what? Yeah, I should have changed internet connections. Darn. Well, California's got a lot of cases, just like Florida and Texas and Georgia, and we're going up because so many people here don't wear their mask either. Well, you don't have to wear one, that's fine, but why does it bother you when other people wear theirs? It's been in the hundreds. Yeah, we had 113 with the heat index here last week, and there was a lot of really hot days. Well, Patrick, I haven't done a show in a long time. Matter of fact, I was just looking back, and I think um, I don't remember when the last time I did one. Actually, it's been months until last night because I was just going through so much stuff and um, wasn't I was pretty down, and I didn't want to share that with people, or you know, be on here feeling all sad and worried and depressed and all that mess. So I just stayed away. Uh, uh, well, I don't know. I've had a fever a couple of times. I was worried. How many days ago was it? Actually, I think last Friday. Uh, I had a fever for 2 days, and it got kind of high this time. I had fever last month and the month before, but they were low grade. But I mean, you can have those anytime you have an autoimmune disease. You can sometimes, hey Suzanne, yeah, me too. You can have low grade fevers with that sometimes. So you know, but this fever got higher, and so I was a little worried. But it only lasted a day and a half. So uh, anyway, I went to the hospital to get one of my kidney tests done, and I had a fever, and they almost didn't let me in. They checked my temperature like 9 times, and they weren't going to let me in. And I'm like, look, I already did the 24-hour test, and that means I have to redo this whole thing again, which was already the second time doing it, and so they just isolated me and let me in so they could do the test. But I still have not been. No one has suggested that I get tested for COVID, even though twice I've been there with a fever, and I have heart disease and kidney failure and asthma. So it's something you'd want to know right away. You know, since I have the underlying conditions, but that's how much they're not testing yet in Virginia. Loretta says it's just a reminder of people. Um, well, you know what, Loretta, in my opinion, it's better to be safe than sorry. And this virus is real and it is highly contagious. And even if you don't think you're sick, if there's a chance that you could spread the virus to someone, that it could kill some child or some older person or some person with elder underlying illness, then I say err on the side of caution. And because the government isn't telling us to wear masks after they spent billions of dollars on facial recognition software and made it against the law for adults to wear masks in public, even on Halloween, because of the element of crime. You walk out your house with a mask on, and the first camera that catches you, you've already got a mask on, and you go in and rob a store, then they don't know who you are. Where before you couldn't wear, if the police, anybody seen you walking down the street with a mask on prior, before you got up to the place you were going to rob, you would get stopped and charged with having paraphernalia to commit a crime. So they're not. I don't believe this is them trying to make us comply because they don't want us wearing masks. And then if you look at the money they're paying, we're paying out for people not to go to work, and they're saying, don't worry about your taxes, don't worry about this, don't worry about that. They canceled the courts, and I mean, this is bigger than all that. This is I think this is biblical, as Scripture warned us about. That's just my opinion. At the CV point, I don't know what that is. You've had a cough since May. It comes and goes. And you're mad because other people wear masks? I mean, some people can have coughs. I have one of my blood pressure medicines actually causes a cough in 10% of the people that take it. And my daughter's best friend, who is really young, everybody's really young compared to me, but she's really young, and she happens to take one of the same heart medicines, and it caused the cough in her too. So, I mean, some people have a cough, you know, for there's several things that can cause a constant cough, a chronic cough rather. And some of it got to do with the heart, and then you got asthma, and you can have granulomatous tissue on your lungs, like I do from being a brick mason, from breathing in brick dust. So that in itself doesn't mean the person has COVID, but it is one of the things they ask you. And I'm like, well, yeah, I have a cough, but I've always had a cough. So or your sinuses drain in the back of your throat, stuff like that, and irritate it. Oh, don't worry about your spelling, Suzanne. A person I know that had COVID and almost died with it. He was 21, no health issues. Yeah, yeah, Patrick. There's been quite a few cases like that, and then they're saying it's causing this severe thickening in the blood, and so it can cause permanent heart damage. Yeah, it could be sinuses, Loretta. I didn't know y'all had sinus issues in California because your air's so dry. I thought we had it here because the air is so humid all the time. Well, I guess the moisture in the air doesn't have anything to do with sinuses anyway. It's to do with the different pollutants in the air. You change your meds, right? So yeah, our numbers are going up here, but a lot of people here aren't wearing masks, and um, and they're not even testing enough people here yet. That's why we're on most states don't travel to zone, or if you come from Virginia to their state, you have to automatically go into a 14-day quarantine. And even though our numbers are rising, yesterday they hit 2,000, which was the highest for us so far. But we have 8.5 million people that live here, and less than a million. They haven't even hit a million yet. Have been tested, so it's still 7.6 or 7 million people haven't been tested in Virginia. Air test takes people been waiting 13, 16 days to get their test results back. And you know, 16 days later, you get told, yeah, you tested positive. Like one of my friends, Helen, her husband had tested positive. He was in the hospital. He was sick, and so they did that quicker test on him. But they didn't do that one on her because she wasn't hospitalized. So they're saving that for their more urgent, or as they feel, more urgent cases. And the rest of the people are getting the slower test, and it's been way too slow. Yes, Patrick. Yep. Yeah. And then the skin inflammation in the children. Yeah, you got dry heat and winds in that desert. Yeah. There's a lot of false negative tests. Anyway, I don't want to talk about testing anymore. I'm 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 like Suzanne. I'm kind of worn out on that whole subject, and I'm totally exhausted. And I've been sick all day, and it's kind of busy today. But the good thing is, I get to see my grandkids and my daughter. Nope,